Sumner Healey, co-founder of Land Insights, and we just had our big Land Insights launch November 21st. It was pretty awesome. So what I'm going to do in this video is just kind of give you like a raw demonstration of me using it. We'll go through, I'm going to pick markets, underwrite some deals, export some data. I'm just going to show you guys how I'm using the tool. Now, it was a crazy launch, and honestly, it's kind of like the calm after the storm. I don't know when you're watching this. We did a launch of 40 seats November 21st. So depending on when you're watching this, we may or may not have spots available. If you want to go and see, you go to landinsights.co/data. You can learn more about the tool here and schedule a call, and we can give you a demo, and we'll let you know if we got seats available. It's kind of a first come, first serve for when we do launches. Okay, so this is exciting. Let's just dive into it. This is going to be totally raw, by the way. This is essentially like V3 of Land Insights. We've gone through many iterations. This is V1 of the data platform, but essentially V3 of Land Insights. For you guys that don't know, this is an end-to-end marketing tool. 2x is your ROAS, typically buys back 20 plus hours per week in your market selection process. But it's grown into something that's pretty incredible. So I'm actually going to move this over here. So let's just go and pick a market. So first things first, we're going to pop in here into the market selection side, and we've got access to data that no one's got access to. It's pretty nifty. So I'm going to start with Colorado. We'll just kind of go through our market selection process here. So you can see Colorado's heat maps. Actually a state I haven't worked in a very, very, very long time. Whoopsies, that was not meant to happen. Let's go back here. Like I said, this is going to be a raw video. Okay, let's go. I'm going to go and sort this high to low. And I'm just going to run some really simple numbers here. So you can see some pretty big STRs, 433%, 127 days on market. The rub is, like I suspected, there's not much active. Doesn't meet our rules for active that we teach inside Aaliyah. This is the first one out of this list ascending that meets our kind of active rules. We got 41 active, 7% pending, 7% in the 1 month. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. 278 for the days on market. There's probably a lot of crummy inventory that's poorly listed. We'll check that out. It's piqued my interest. Again, I'm familiar with a lot of these Park County, Teller County. Just too much supply, in my opinion. Delta County, Baca County. Yeah. All right. We're gonna check out MoFat. I actually don't even think I've ever looked at MoFat before, ever, which is exciting. So let's jump into the data platform, and we'll go and check it out. So we're gonna come over here to filter parcels. Now, first thing I'll show too is, if you guys wanted to, this is where all like our saved searches would be in our export history. We won't go through that right now. But if you guys save certain searches that you want your team to go and reference, or whatever it may be, or if you want to see what your team is exporting, you can see all of that inside here. So let's go to filter parcels. We're going to go, or markets rather. We're going to go to MoFat County, Colorado. This is just knowing something about Colorado. I'm assuming, without going super deep on it, I'm assuming this is going to be a rural rec market. So we'll just kind of ballpark it. Let's just start with 5 to 100 acres, see what crops up. You can see there's 3,200 properties that just populated. It's lightning quick. And this is on slow bally internet. So if you've got better internet than I do, much, 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 much faster. But it's lightning quick, and we don't throttle it back. If you wanted to pull up 40,000 properties, which I did earlier today when I was looking at San Diego County, it'll play ball. QC will cluster them just so you don't get lost in the sauce and you can't see what you're looking at. And actually, one of the things I love about the clusters is when we see these bubbles starting to expand, it's usually a good trigger that there's probably going to be a subdivision there, right? Everyone always struggles. How do I find subdivisions? Well, it's a good way when you can visualize it like this. Now, I've got some overlays on. You might be like, Sumner, what am I seeing here? So let me just move this over here. We've got some overlays on. We've got our wetlands overlay, our flood zone building layer, owner layer, roads layer, MLS layer, county layer. There's a lot of layers, right? So what exactly are all of these? So wetlands, that's obvious. You can see the wetlands here. It's these little veins. Flood zone, there's no flood zones to report on here, but if there was a flood zone, you could actually hover your mouse over it, and we'd show what kind of flood zone it is. And we show it in plain English, okay? No one wants to look at a flood zone that's like XKBG, blah, 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 whatever the FEMA designation is. You're like, I have no idea what that means. You'll see a lot of tools out there that just give you this gargly goop that isn't synthesized. We're Land Investors. This is built by Land Investors. Let's speak in Land Investor parlance so we can actually understand each other, right? That seems like a fair request. Going back here. So building layer, this is an interesting one. You'll actually see that there's like these kind of green icons here. This is this kind of AI tracking system that we have that layers on top of the satellite imagery. You'll find there's a lot of properties that they never pulled building permits, or for whatever reason, it's not going to register at the county level, but there's still some kind of structure here. So we can actually label this for you. And I find this interesting because there's a lot of times where I'm like, God, I think there's a structure. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. This just makes it really easy to see it. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. No harm, no foul, or you can turn it back on. I like to have it on. Again, there's just so many properties out there. I'm like, I think there's something there, and I can't drop a pin to go and see the satellite view, or to go see the street view rather. So it's kind of a cool. I think it's a neat feature. Owner layer. So again, that's obvious. Shows the owner name. I keep this on all the time. Roads layer. This is really cool. So you see this yellow line here. This is the roads layer. Now, why is that important? Well, again, sometimes it's hard to see, like if it's a ton of foliage or wooded or what have you, like I can't really tell. But usually county roads are obvious. But the reason I actually like this is when it comes to properties that are likely to have an easement, okay? So you could take a property that looks physically landlocked, and this is actually going to be a hell of a lot smarter than you are in terms of actually finding these roads. Problem is, I mean, it's still a satellite image. It's not perfect. There are roads that will go unnoticed. There's rarely false signals. There can be, but it's very rare. But there can be situations where it doesn't track it. But I promise you, this is probably 100x better than what your eyes could pick up. It's really spookily accurate. And so this might not be the best example here, but you'll find these. This is a good example, right? You'll find these properties here. This is not a county road, right? But there is a road meandering through this whole entire thing, and it's like, okay, well, someone is accessing this property. So is there a good chance that there's going to be legal access? Probably. It's not a guarantee. We'll need to go check the deeds, and if there's a survey or plat map, like we're going to have to go deeper. But it's a really good trigger. And obviously we've got AI scrubbing in here. It's free landlocked scrubbing. And we've got a bunch of other scrubs inside of this tool that you can scrub out at export. But we also do give you the ability to manually review all the scrubs. It's a really important point to be able to manually review the scrubs, because you wanted to have your own discretion. AI is smart, but it's not a land investor. There are things that we actually deliberately keep in that have some funk on them. What would that be? Well, it'd be a property that's, like, as an example, that's obviously landlocked, but I see a road meandering through it, through this road tracking, and I'm saying, I'm going to keep that in. Now, I'm not going to go pull the deeds and go super deep on it now. But I think if this lead comes back to me, there's actually a good chance there is going to be legal access here. You'll have just a higher likelihood. So I'm a big fan of that. And even if there is legal access and it's not in question, one of the things that comes up a lot in our due diligence is, as it stands today, if I was a buyer and I drove out to this property, could I get to the interior of the property? It's a big question, right? If you're dealing with a 100-acre lot and I can only make it to the boundary because it's so densely wooded and there's topography and there's no road, that's actually a hard property to sell. Even if it's a nice, delicious property in a great market that's well priced, still hard to sell. Buyers are irrational. So that's the roads layer. MLS comps. This is really cool. This is where things start to get crazy. And so again, we have an export of this data. I like to have this here so I can start toying around. You can see we track sold comps. You can see what's actively listed. You can see pending. You'll see that kind of like a little report card, and then you can actually go over and check it out. So here's the sold data. We used to do this many, many moons ago manually with Google My Maps. And if you've ever done that before, you know what a pain in the butt that is. Whoops. Sorry, y'all. Going back here, county layer and then zip code layer. One thing that's important too is that these auto save. So like next time you log in, if it's 6 months from now or 6 hours from now, these will always be saved to your settings. And you don't have to click save. It just will always stay there for you. And it looks like I accidentally exited out of my original search here. Fat fingered that one. So, well, let's dive into the search a little bit more. We'll do 5 to a hundo. Let's just do 5% for the improvement percentage. Owner, we'll plug in out of state and ownership length. So this is in terms of months, right? So let's say, hey, you know what? They've had to own for at least 12 months. I don't need to put any max on there. I just say the minimum is they've owned for 12 months. And you can see the structure information here. I'll say, let's say 400 square feet. Now, I'm actually not going to put a 0 there. There's an interesting thing that can happen where things are like when you put this, how do I explain this? There's all these little breaks in data, right? People say, okay, I just mark it to the 5 to 100s, or I just mark it to the 0 to 400, or whatever it is. These things do get interpreted differently in different counties, and it's a bit of an oddity. But if you put 0 on, there is a very small minority of your data that could be in there but isn't in there. It's the same idea of hitting 4.9s opposed to hitting 5s. There's these little unloved pockets of data that people just often miss. So I actually tend to keep this 0. You'll find that every other tool forces you to put a value there. I think it's an important point to know. Again, this is just, I think it's one of those things where it's just only relevant if you are a land investor. So we can leave that as 0 and it won't say you can't proceed. And you'll unlock some additional data. It's not in every market, but there are markets where we do unlock little pockets of data that aren't being touched. I'm not going to put a minimum or maximum for the structure count. So we've got 167 properties. So we can deduplicate owners here. We can tell, hey, which one we want. So dedupe the smaller or the larger parcel. We've obviously got all of our scrubbing features here. We can remove the landlocked properties and wetlands and flood zone. And we've got our road frontage scrub coming here in the next few weeks, which is pretty exciting for road frontage length. You can see you can kind of put in what you want here. Now, if you're a data user inside of Land Insights, landlocked scrubbing is free. Obviously, deduplicating your records is free. And then every other scrub is at 50% off. So we discount all these scrubs by 50%. Scrub rate on accuracy is about 97 to 99%, depending on the scrub. These ones are essentially bulletproof. And landlocked is about like 95, 97% accurate. It does range from market to market. When we first built out the AI function for this, it was like 70% accurate. So it's gotten better and better and better and better, and continues to get better the more data that we push through it. If you aren't pulling data through Land Insights, you can still go and upload your data sets and use the scrub features. I can show you that here in a second, but it'll be at 4 credits opposed to 2 credits. And that's true again for every scrub that we have. And we've got a lot of really cool scrubs that are in the pipeline. So again, it pays to be a data user in that sense. And one thing that's important to note too is all you have to be is a Land Insights user. You don't have to hold any other subscription. There's no additional monthly fees other than being a Land Insights user. If you're a Land Insight user, a la carte's at 6 cents per record. And it comes with all the features I just talked about here. And then if you surpass, technically it'd be about 75,000 records is when it makes sense to go to the unlimited plan, which is a true unlimited plan. It's not a fake smoke and mirrors unlimited plan. It's a true unlimited plan. $4,500 a year, unlimited data. If you're pulling hundreds of thousands of records a month, makes a lot of sense to upgrade to that. And both options come with all the same benefits. So we don't feature gate the benefits. We don't feature gate really anything inside of Land Insights. And again, you don't have to pull data here. What's really cool though, so we can do kind of like a master scrub or master export. So like we do a lot of texting. You might do a lot of cold calling or RVMs or cold email or whatever. And so you say, look, there's 167 properties. I just want to get this party started. I want to scrub it and I want to skip it, right? And we've got 2 skip options. So we've got our standard skip, which is going to be for one person. And it's going to be just name and phone number, just really simple, right? That's at 5 credits. 1 credit's 1 cent. So it's at 5 cents. If you want the premium, it's up to 7 relatives. It's multiple phone numbers, multiple phone numbers, age, the most up-to-date address, email addresses. It pulls everything under the sun. There's a time and place to use each one. I always hit premium because we recycle our data with cold email, and I actually like having the relatives information. And so it's just a penny more to upgrade to the premium. But what's really cool is you can do like a master export right now if you wanted to, and it'll scrub it first. And let's say we scrub it down, it might scrub off, if I come in here and say 50% and 50%. Now it's not going to auto-populate the numbers right now. And we're going to deduplicate it. You might end up with from 167 after deduplicating and all the scrubs, you might end up with 50 records, 40 records, and then it'll automatically push it through the skip tracing. Again, you don't have to lift a finger other than just hit export. And so it'll scrub it first, and then you'll only get charged on the skips for the ones that are post scrub, and you only get charged for skips that hit. So skips have a limited hit rate, right? They're not perfect. We can't go and pull from every owner and get the contact information. So if we get a non-hit, you'll never be billed for a non-hit. So let's say we whittle it down to 50, and then it automatically skip trace to 50 for you if you selected it. Let's say out of the 50, only 45 hit. You're only getting charged on the 45. That's a really important point. And so you can do this as one-stop shop, or you could come back later and go and skip trace later. The pricing is exactly the same. So yeah, that's the lowdown there. Now I'm gonna remove this just for now, and let's just go like this. We'll take a look here. So you can see it'll populate all this, and what's really cool is we can actually go and see that kind of like just a very simple general card on the property. And if I want to say, okay, so if you let me see the details, we can actually go and look at this property and dive into it. So I'm super zoomed in right now. So let me walk you through. Actually, let's do this. Let's go and actually underwrite a deal. Let's do that. I'm just going to we'll hop into my CRM. This is a old property from many, many moons ago. we'll come here and we'll kind of move over to more of like the due diligence, right? And so it's a full end-to-end one-stop shop for everything you need. Now, there are a litany of new due diligence layers being added in. We ship feature updates every 2 weeks. That's kind of the general rule of thumb we adhere to. Honestly, it typically looks like every single week. We've got 4+ full-time engineers working on this. So we ship very, 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 very fast. And, one of the things that I've talked about for a while is that our users ultimately are our stakeholders. What I mean by that is like, this is very much a community driven product for just the development of the land business, frankly. And so we take our user feedback to heart. There's a whole section inside of the tool where people submit their feedback, and we get a lot of feedback and we listen to a lot of it. Some gets shelved for a later date. Some gets added to our roadmap now. Some of it's just outlandish and we can't do it, but we always report back to all of our users. When we get feedback, we relay that back to them. And being a Land Insights user opens you up to a community. And I think that's very rare, right? So inside of Land Insights, everyone that joins goes through an onboarding call with our team. You get assigned an account manager. We do a big kind of user or team Land Insights monthly marketing call every month where all of our users hop on. We talk shop, talk marketing, talk Land Insights, talk roadmap, talk improvements, talk all of it. And we have a private Land Insights Discord as well for our users too. And so I say all that to say that this is very much a community-driven product, and it's gotten better because of our users. And so I say that because there are data layers that have been requested that are coming in here in the next few weeks in terms of additional due diligence layers. And now everyone's due diligence looks a lot different, right? We really built the due diligence features and this tool in general for our little niche in the business, which is like a rural rec, rural infill land flipping business. There are many features that are coming that are for kind of adjacent niches like development, whether it be subdividing or entitling, and even stuff that's even deeper in terms of due diligence features for people that are doing crazy things, solar or whatever, and really kind of building out a tool that's for all people that are involved in land, but we're really just starting in the domain of land investors, land flippers. Okay, so here's a property. This is a lead from a long time ago. It doesn't look like it's even the same owner nowadays. You can see we have this kind of general due diligence card on the property right here. Last purchase date 15 years ago. Okay, no, actually must be the same person. They are delinquent on taxes. They haven't paid since 2022. Property tax is $72 a year. Assessed county value. This is the legal description. It says in this RGR Estates. Actually, I don't know if it's called the RGR. I don't know if it's called the Estates, but I've bought many properties here. There's not going to be a whole lot of information. Here's a subdivision, Rio Grande Ranches. Owner information. You can see kind of this general card on them. You can see the chain of ownership. So they actually bought it originally from the developer, Rio Ranches of Colorado. Structure, there's no structure on here. General metrics for the market. So this is really interesting, right? We'll show you, hey, there's 5 to 10 acres, which is what this property is a part of. There's 208 active properties within this bracket, 14 pending. The annual STR is 62.5%. Sold in the last month is 12. Now, again, this is MLS data. There are many sales happening behind the scenes, like in any market. So we're just factoring in MLS data, which is the most accurate, most honest for when we're looking at STRs and things along those lines. Miscellaneous, if there's mortgages and whatnot on here, you'd be able to see that. You can see the total sales, 130 for properties of this size range. So you get a lot of the same market insights just immediately in your due diligence process, which is chef's kiss. So powerful, so important, so cool. So yeah, it's a very homogenous area, but you can see we actually have a comp that's very, very close by. It's active. It's listed at about 1,100 an acre. Here it is, 5,700. Terrible engagements, 143 days, 5 views, 1 save. Yikes, that doesn't really wet my palate much. You can see there's a good amount of active listings here. Now, if it's active, it's going to have this blue icon on it. If we come down here, there's some sold. See this piece here? It's a 10 acre, sold at $620 an acre. So it's $640 an acre. So we can see that there's like an interesting delta, right? Stuff that's trading is trading at about $600 an acre. Stuff that's listed is listed about $1,100 or $1,000 an acre. So you can see that delta really, really clearly. If we come back down here, days on market, 26, 22. So these things were moving. They were well priced, 32. This one's 316 days. They shopped the mark on this one. Priced it way too high. So yeah, let's go. And one thing I actually want to show too while we're here, let's just go to Costilla, Colorado. And, one of the big things that a lot of people do is they work in subdivisions, right? So you just loaded 14,000 properties for this bracket here. You see how quick that happened. No, if this is too noisy for you, you guys can go and turn off any of these layers. So if it's like, hey, the MLS comp's too noisy, not a problem. Turn it off. You can turn it back on when you zoom in. But let's go and let's go search a subdivision. Now, it's a very popular thing that we do inside of Leah, especially for newer land investors. So let's just go look up Forbes Park. Here we go, Forbes Park. Let's go check this out. So this is going to take us over here. I'm going to remove this. Let's just say like 1 to 10. This is a subdivision I used to work in a long time ago. So let's go back here and we'll turn on our MLS comps and let's just start toying around. So you can see all these ones that have this yellow outline are within our data set based off of all the search criteria that I put in here. You could toggle this and change it. You see there's properties that are here in this orange outline that aren't being picked up because they're not inside of our search. Now you could change that if you wanted to. But this is where it gets really fun is I can start to kind of just really quickly get a snapshot on values, right? This one sold here at 9K an acre. This is actually listed at 41,000 an acre, 18,000 an acre. People are really shooting the moon on some of these. 15,000 an acre. This one's pending at 42, has a structure on it. 10, 10. And I find this just to be such a powerful feature. Now, we use this a lot in our underwriting, but you can use it within your pricing. But I also like to use it in my initial due diligence before I ever export any data from a market is like, hey, what's going on here? Like, do I think I could price out Forbes Park? Do I have a reliable data on this to where I feel confident in my pricing? Now, we used to use a million different tools to figure this out, and we're hopping from Redfin to Land.com to Zillow. Like, it was just crazy. I'm not saying that you still won't use those tools. They still have a time and place in your business. But to have this is really cool. Now, this is the junior version of the feature that's coming out in Q1 of 2025, which is our comping tool, which we've been using for the last year in our business, which frankly is OP, it's overpowered, it's dangerous, it's ridiculous, it's so stupidly good, and has changed our business. I don't say that lightly. It's literally changed our business. So if you like this stuff, just wait until Q1. That's at no additional cost. Like our whole premise with Land Insights is there's a limited TAM, okay? Limited total addressable market in the land space. So our job is to build a product that's so compelling and continues to improve at no additional cost where people never want to leave it. That's our whole entire business case. And so we keep on just adding features and features and features and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a quarter to build something that gets better and better and better for our users. Now, there are things like skip tracing and scrubs that is just frankly expensive for us to even run. So there are things I'm not gonna lie. Like there are things like this that have a cost to them. They're insanely discounted. But 99% of the features that get released, for example, the comping tool is coming out entirely free. There's no feature gating. There's no caveats on how much you can use it. And you don't have to be a data user. You just have to be a Land Insights user. So groovy. Let's go back into Land Insights. And I just want to show you guys something real quick. So let's say we wanted to work in Moffat County. Okay. This is a really cool feature that I find super powerful. This is a realtor report. And you'll see, again, this is just an end-to-end solution. So let's say I went and pulled some deals and I got some leads and I bought a property in Moffat. And I'm like, okay, I got to find a realtor to use. You'll see that we instantly just pulled up all the realtors in this area ranked from most volume. So sold in the last year, 13, 18 active listings. You can see the whole kit and caboodle here. Sorry, this is actually for the brokerage. This is for the individual agent. You can see all the contact information here. We've got a really crazy update coming to this in the next few months. I won't talk about it here, but it's really, really exciting. Let's say you're not pulling data from here, or you've got your own data sets that you still want to recycle. You can just come here and upload them, start a new scrub job. You don't get the 50% discount to the free landlocked scrubbing, but you can always go use that. Same thing with skip tracing. Skip tracing is the same exact price. Listing photo editor. So one of the big things that I've learned from working with 300 plus people inside of Leah and just with Land Insights is like, you could be doing everything right with your market selection, your pricing, your acquisitions, and then you bring to market the ugliest, fuggliest, craziest listing you've ever seen that doesn't move. And so we said we need to solve this for people. If this is a tool to increase everything in your business as it relates to acquisitions and dispositions and marketing as a whole, we're kidding ourselves if we don't teach people and help people with how to actually create amazing photos for the listings. So we have this all set up here. We've got templates for you to use. You can go in and use our lot lines and our color correction, and it's super, super, super cool. Comping tool, I won't click on this, but you won't see this inside of your account, but it's coming here very soon, Q1 of 2025. Feature requests, you can go and share all your feature ideas here with us. And we review every single one as a team, and so everything gets submitted here. And inside of Land Insights, we have a program, a full training program. We've got a new program releasing next week, going over a new program on the data platform. So there's a full training course that goes along with how to maximize the value that you can get from the data platform. Yeah. And that's the lowdown, guys. So I'm super excited. I'm very proud of what we put together. I mean, everything that we released, it always feels like there's so much behind the scenes that you guys don't know, that I know is days away or weeks away or months away. So it always feels like, damn it, if we could just release in another month. But it's just it's a perpetual thing. But it's a blessing to have so many talented people working on this to build something that I think is amazing. No, it's not perfect, and we take our feedback seriously. And again, our users are our stakeholders. That's how it gets better. But I'm very proud of what we put together here. And I think if you're a land investor, there's truly no better end-to-end tool for $500 a month to get access to this stuff. It is life-changing to your business. In fact, I challenge you, or I don't know, it's not even a challenge, but if you want to go to landinsights.co and go to our website here, scroll down and go through and watch all these case studies. And there's many of them. Go and listen to what our users have to say. This is live in the flesh. There's so much cool feedback here. Hear it from them, right? This business has changed. This tool has changed people's businesses. It's not a silver bullet. It doesn't change everything. You still have to be a competent land investor. But as it relates to acquisitions, dispositions, and marketing as a whole, I'm really proud of it. And I think it has the potential to impact your business in a really powerful way. All right, guys, talk soon. Thanks for watching the video. Cheers.